One poisoned web page can turn a helpful AI app into a confused intern with a keyring. That is the core of OWASP LLM01 2025, prompt injection. Untrusted text changes what the model does, even though the app thought it was just processing content. In a normal application, instructions and data usually live on different sides of a wall. The code says what to do, the data is what gets handled. LLM apps blur that wall. The same model may read a user message, a website, a PDF, a retrieved document, a plugin response, and a system instruction, then decide the next action. Prompt injection happens when one of those inputs alters the model's behavior or output in an unintended way. The model may still sound confident while following the wrong instruction. OWASP splits this into direct and indirect injection. Direct injection is the obvious version. The attacker types the instruction into the chat. Ignore the rules, reveal something, call a tool, or change the answer. Indirect injection is sneakier. It can be intentional or accidental, but the effect is the same. Content changes behavior. The attacker hides instructions in content the model later reads. That content might be a web page, a file, a RAG document, a plugin response, or tiny text embedded in a PDF where a human barely notices it. This is why prompt injection is not just a chatbot party trick. If the model can only write a poem, the blast radius is small. If the model can read email, query private data, update tickets, the model is now sitting near real authority. Call plugins or execute commands. The same trick becomes an application security problem because output can move data or trigger actions. OWASP lists possible outcomes: sensitive information disclosure, system prompt or infrastructure leakage, manipulated content, unauthorized function access, command execution in connected systems, and influence over critical decisions. The weird part is that the malicious instruction can look like normal data, formatted like a paragraph instead of an exploit. A web page can ask for a summary while hidden text says, send the conversation somewhere else. A resume can look clean, while invisible text tells an AI screener to rate it highly. A RAG document can carry instructions that bend the answer when retrieved. OWASP also calls out newer shapes: payload splitting, multimodal injection, adversarial suffixes, and multilingual or encoded prompts that try to dodge filters. The attack surface grows anywhere the model consumes content and treats it as meaningful, not just inside the user chat box. So the defense is not one magic sentence in the system prompt. OWASP is blunt here. Foolproof prevention is unclear. RAG and fine-tuning can make answers more useful, but OWASP says they do not fully mitigate prompt injection. The goal is to reduce impact, not to pretend the model is perfectly obedient. Constrain what the model is allowed to do. Validate output formats with deterministic code. Filter inputs and outputs. Keep tool permissions minimal. Require human approval before privileged actions. Separate and label external content. And test the app like the model is an untrusted user trying to cross a boundary before a real attacker finds it. The most useful mental model is simple. Prompt injection attacks the gap between instructions and content. If untrusted content can become instructions, every connected tool becomes part of the blast radius. The AI can be clever. The application around it still needs boring security work: boundaries, least privilege, validation, approvals, monitoring, and a healthy suspicion of any text the system did not create, because the prompt you trust least may be the one you never saw.